Чи можливо визначити лідера у зростаючому протистоянні кредитних карток та віртуальних гаманців? На це питання надав аргументоване бачення Арчіт Мішра, фінансовий експерт Everest Group. Brain TV поставив декілька запитань щодо майбутнього платіжних систем експертові, запрошеному до України компанією Люксофт.
I'm Арчіт Мішра. I'm a senior analyst with Everest Group. We are an outsourcing advisory firm headquartered in Texas. So it's Apple Cash. So I think Apple Cash and some of the payment products like Apple Pay, be it Samsung Pay. I think the main issue here is with adaptability or probably with adoption. So although we have all these technologies, we have Starbucks who had started with this kind of innovative payment, where you had Apple Pay kind of payment and loyalty programs using your mobile phone. But then I think the main issue here is that customers are probably not that tech savvy everywhere. So you go to some of the metropolitan cities, they are very keen on adopting or paying through mobile. But then, a large part of the population still want to use the traditional cards or, the debit cards, credit cards, or, the traditional way of payment. I think that is something which the whole industry is yet to figure out, the security part of it. But yes, we are seeing some of the innovative payment technology companies coming up with payments using face expressions, using retina scanning, using other methods of biometric. But then I think we do not see banks adopting that kind of methods as of now for at a large scale. The farthest that they have gone is going with some kind of POCs, pilots, and experimenting with these kind of technologies. But I think the world is yet to see adoption of these methods. Yes, it is. I think, and it's exactly what blockchain, promises: peer-to-peer payments without a central authority, without any border restrictions. And there are a number of use cases and successful POCs that the banks have developed across the globe on cross-border payments and P2P payments. And in the coming days, we'll see a lot of it. A lot of adoption of blockchain, which promises exactly what you're referring to. Analogy, if we take the same analogy, some of the neobanks or some of the digital banks across the globe can be considered as flying banks because they do not have branches, they do not have the traditional brick and mortar kind of setup like the traditional banks. But they are totally mobile. They help with payments across the globe, and I think in the coming days that is the model where the banks are moving towards. Reducing the branches, reducing the physical infrastructure, and going totally online and virtual presence. So these kind of banks can be called as flying banks. I think this is a very sensitive topic. We have seen a lot of adoption of Bitcoin. We have seen it crossing the 11,000 mark recently, and then dropping off 20% on a single day. But then I think the coming days will tell whether Bitcoin is what it is perceived to be. But it's very difficult to say on the trust and authenticity of Bitcoin, given that it's doesn't have any legal identification in many countries, and it doesn't have a regulatory authority that is controlling it. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. I think if you look at what's happening around the globe, there are many businesses that is accepting payments via Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is being accepted as a currency, a global currency. We can see some of the evidences in some of the countries where it is legal, and if it continues to grow with the same pace that it is now, then probably in the coming days it's going to disrupt the world economy. Yes, so currently we do have limited number of bitcoins, as we all know. So in future, it's very important to understand where is this heading to, because of lack of direction. That if I say we are not very sure, where whether it's heading to a safe zone or not. But then definitely there is some requirement to for someone to speculate the future of bitcoins and come up with a control mechanism.
Our easy questions for you. Thank you very much.
Thanks as well.